Software, it's everywhere. Like, it's more pervasive than those fruit flies that magically appear when you've got bananas. And just like those pesky flies, software can be a real nuisance if not handled properly. It's not just about lines of code, it's about the choices made while writing them. That, my friends, is where ethics come in. Imagine software that controls a self-driving car. If the code's dodgy, those decisions could be bad, really bad. Ethics in software development is about more than just avoiding lawsuits. Choose wisely. They're the difference between a future where technology empowers us and one where it drives us into a ditch. What are these ethical challenges in software development? They're like regular bugs, but they can crash society. One major issue is bias. Algorithms trained on biased data can discriminate, like facial recognition systems less accurate for people of color. Then there's privacy. We hand over personal data without understanding its use. Developers must protect data and be transparent. Software can be used for harmful purposes. Consider the consequences and build safeguards. With great power comes great responsibility. Let's get specific, shall we? Remember that self-driving car we talked about earlier? Imagine it's faced with a no-win situation. Swerve to avoid a pedestrian and risk harming the passenger, or stay on course, and well, you get the picture. These are the kinds of ethical dilemmas that keep developers up at night, and there are no easy answers. Or take the case of Cambridge Analytica, where millions of Facebook users' data was harvested without their consent and used to influence elections. This scandal sent shockwaves through the tech world and highlighted the very real dangers of unethical data practices. These are just a couple of examples, but they illustrate the point. Ethical challenges in software development aren't hypothetical, they're happening right now. And they have real-world consequences for real people. It's enough to make you want to throw your smartphone in the ocean, but please don't do that. We need those things to, function in society. Section 4, Coding with a Conscience, Strategies for Ethical Development. So how do we fix this mess? Well, first off, we need to acknowledge that ethical considerations are not an afterthought. They need to be baked into the entire software development process. It's like adding salt to a recipe. You can't just sprinkle it on at the end and hope for the best. Developers need to be educated about ethical issues and provided with clear guidelines and best practices. Think of it as a code of conduct, but for code. Companies need to foster a culture of ethical awareness and encourage developers to speak up about concerns. We also need to involve ethicists and other stakeholders in the development process. Having diverse perspectives can help identify potential blind spots and ensure that software is designed with the greater good in mind. Because building ethical software isn't just about avoiding bad things, it's about actively striving to create technology that benefits everyone. Section 5. Integrity, the cornerstone of ethical software. Here's the thing. Technical skills are important, but they're not enough. Developers need to have integrity. They need to be willing to do the right thing, even when it's difficult or unpopular, or might mean delaying a product launch. Integrity means being transparent about how data is being collected and used, even if it means sacrificing some profits. It means refusing to build software that could be used to harm others. Even if it means losing a client, it means prioritizing the long-term well-being of users over short-term gains. Basically, it's about not being a jerk, because at the end of the day, the code we write reflects who we are. And if we want to build a better future, we need to start by building better software. And that starts with integrity. Section 6, Ethical Code, Enduring Impact. Look, we get it. Talking about ethics can feel about as fun as a root canal. But here's the thing, building ethical software isn't just the right thing to do, it's also the smart thing to do. When developers prioritize ethical considerations, they build trust with users, which is good for business. They create a more equitable and just society, which benefits everyone. And they help ensure that technology is used for good, not evil, which, let's face it, is something we can all get behind. So the next time you're using a piece of software, take a moment to appreciate the code that went into it. And if you're a developer, remember the power you hold. Use it wisely, use it ethically, and let's build a future we can all be proud of. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go delete my browser history for ethical reasons, of course.